Welcome, greetings, and salutations to drumroll, please. The last bug on these color sticky notes. And like I did in the last 3 lives, I'm going to draw a bug, but this time I'm finally going to draw a bug with its wings open. The reference picture is this, which looks kind of like not a firefly, a dragonfly. So at least now I can play around with a technique with like wings and trying to make the wings actually, look like wings, which it's gonna be a bit harder because the wings have a lot of detail in them, and if I add too much detail with like the pen, I might struggle to add color because then everything will just look a bit too much. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but we will see. And of course, this is a nice purple color and it fits perfectly with this, which is of course, that is almost an exact match. And I know with the lighting, this doesn't look very purple, but it is. Strange enough, it almost looks blue in this lighting from the phone, but for me at least, I don't know for you guys. But it is almost an exact match, which I am extremely happy with. And I'm just gonna take one off and place it more or less in the middle where you guys will be able to see it easily. Okay, there we go. Now, before we start drawing, I have a wonderful, nice, dark cup of coffee, and I'm just gonna it's a bit ASMR for you guys, but honestly, a nice warm cup of coffee is amazing when you want to draw. So, in the reference picture, most of like the body is, well, not body, but wings. So I'm just gonna do a very, very rough planning sketch just to know where everything's going to go. Before I start, I do not want to repeat myself, the mistakes that I made in these again. So this time I'm actually going to try and plan out everything. So I'm just gonna find the middle of the page, more or less. Then its head, which is adorably tiny, I think it's like there. The antennas, and then its body goes to about, if the head is that size, then a body will be, we'll have to make it smaller, so about there, because I have to shrink everything up. Though I might be able to make it there because then the wings will be ending here. Yeah, from the bug, if I end the wings, the lower like wings that come down, if I end them here, then its body needs to end about here, I think. Yeah. Okay, so if its body is ending here, then the top wings should end about here. I think, yeah, that is mostly equal, I think. Is it similar or symmetrical? I hope so. Hi, Carmen. Thank you. This is just a planning for another bug, and it is the last bug that I'm going to draw because I only have like 4 sticky notes and they fit perfectly with markers, or not markers, highlighters, and the colors are almost an exact match. So I'm excited to finally start actually drawing on these with like pen. Usually the pen I use is these. I am not really, I don't know if this is a common like company, but they make really good not markers, pens, and they come in so many sizes. I feel like where is it? I think yeah, here it is. This is a 0.003 point pen, and it is, I don't know if you can see that if it wants to concentrate. It is like, compared to my nail, it is absolutely tiny. And this pen is going to work wonders for when I add details to the wings, but that will be in another live. I'm gonna have to make this body a lot smaller because the wings are absolutely massive on this creature. Or not creature, bug. The wings come like this. Those then need to come here. Okay, I think that is a pretty good place to go from. Though these are a bit more thicker on the like bottom. And these are a bit more thinner. Okay, so now at least we have a more rough sketch and I can kind of see where the body will need to be. Yeah, I think that's the best I'm going to be able to do, though I really want to see if I can just open the wings a bit more, because they're going to be too close to the body. So I'm just gonna do that and see if it looks a bit better. Okay, I think that's going to work a bit better so that I can get the actual body of the bug in. And I'm just going to do a very light erase of mostly everything, just so that I can actually clean up the lines of those wings. And I should probably be using my kneadable eraser, but my desk is such a mess that I cannot find anything at all. Okay, it has like a little bit of a neck. I don't know if you would call that a neck on a bug. I think it would count as a neck. And then the little round eyes. And then the antennas. Which are always adorable. And from the reference picture, what I can see, it has like little segments. And its legs come from here. And then. And it has a little footsie on the end of its leg. Okay, and then the rest of the body, it seems like it's a bit hard to see on a reference picture, but that is where its wings kind of start. Then it tapers in again, and then a bit out, and then in. And then it is for the, I don't know what you, it's not a thorax. What do you call this? Like the booty part of the bug, that part. I do not know the etymology of it, but basically the booty of the bug. I'm gonna try and draw that. Though it's a bit to the side, I need to move it a bit. There you go. Okay, that's a bit better. And I think I'll end it here. Yeah. And again, it has segments. And then legs come from here. It seems to have 6 legs. I think in the reference picture that I have, it lost like this leg, or it seems so, because it's either blending in with the wing details or it is actually gone, which it does seem gone, but I'm not sure. I'm just gonna add it in still, because I think it would look a bit strange if it did not have a leg there. So I'm just gonna do that and hope it looks right in the end. Now for the wings. I don't know if it's just me, but I personally always struggle drawing bug wings. It's a very plain, like, simple shape, but I can never ever get them right. They always look a bit wonky, if you know what I mean. Now let's just do that on the other side. I think I'm gonna just make this a little bit straighter. I think that's mostly symmetrical. This one I think is a bit too low. It might need to move just a little bit up. I think about there would be right. Like there? Yeah, I think that's a little bit better. And this is a bit more around. Okay, I think that's a bit better. Yeah, okay, I think that is a bit more symmetrical than it was. Though I think this one is either too thin or this one's thick. I think this one bends out too much. And this one is too thin in anyways, but I don't think I changed anything there. I think that was basically useless to erase. I'm just gonna leave it in and hope. And I might just paint this one out just a bit. See if it looks a bit better. That does look a bit better. It looks a bit more equal and a bit more accurate to the reference. Now it is for the underwings, which come from here and go down like that. And then they bend and go up. Okay, I think that is, for the first try, I think that is mostly the same again. Luckily, it doesn't need to be exactly the same. It just needs to be more or less. But I do want it to look semi-realistic, basically. I think that's just straight. Okay, I think that is a bit better. And at least this time, it actually fits in. Because this and that and, well, this one mostly fits, except for the legs. The legs are the problem every time. I struggle with actually fitting the bug in, even if I plan. But this time, the legs are, well, they're far from the side. So I don't need to tuck them in or make the bug do yoga. It is perfectly fine the way it is. So this time, I learned from my mistakes, and it technically fits perfectly. I think I kind of like it touching the edges, just barely touching. When I add like the paint, I might just make it, a bit less close to the edge, but that will be done when like most of the planning is done. Now, this bug has a lot of detail on its wings. I'm not going to like draw in all those details because that is a bit too much, but I'm just going to do a rough thing to show that the wings do have some detail on them. And I am definitely not going to add all those veins, because to add all those little tiny veins would be, well, it would look technically good or right, but it would be a bit much to add in. So I'm just gonna fake it, kind of, and just add a few lines here and there. Hey, Galaxy! Well, sadly, I only have these 4 colors of sticky notes, so this is the last bug for now. But I have a very exciting project that I really want to start, and it is these little canvases, which are basically almost the same size, just a little bit bigger than like the sticky notes. I really, really want to draw bugs on them, but I need to just, paint a base coat and then I'm going to do that. But that is going to probably be a video because I've kind of enjoyed drawing these bugs, and I'm in the mood for more bugs. So on all of these, which I have a few, I really want to draw bugs, and one of them is probably going to be a butterfly, because I mean, there's a few, and I even have bigger sizes of them, and I want to do all of them. So one of them is going to be a butterfly, and another would probably be an ant or a wasp. I really want to draw one of those as well, or paint basically, because I'm not going to draw on those canvases. I'm going to try and paint. But one thing that I am actually really excited to try is I want to take air dry clay and add it onto those little canvases. For example, if this was on this, for example, now, the wings, I would place air dry clay for the wings and make them three-dimensional, but the body I would just paint on the canvas. So it would be two-dimensional, just to add a little bit of texture and a little bit of like something, you know? So that is a future project. Right now, things are a bit busy, and this is my, well, not main focus, but mostly my focus right now. But that is one of the projects I really want to do and play around with. Thank you, Galaxy. I really appreciate the compliment. But these are very rough sketches right now, because I am going to add, paint to them and finish them and finalize them and maybe add color. But for right now, they are just very rough sketches. But I really do appreciate the compliment. Just trying to add a little bit of variation here and there, just to remind myself when I actually add all the details to this that there was variation, otherwise I will forget. Kind of like when I drew this one, or was it, I think it was either this one or this one, I completely forgot the antennas, like they did not exist till very late in that drawing, and then I finally noticed and like added it. Hey, yeah, Galaxy, I am a small content creator. I've been on YouTube for like, I think 6, maybe 5 years now, but I've only started to actually concentrate on YouTube the last like year. But with life and stuff, I started a small business, and that kind of made spending time on YouTube a bit harder and a bit more time consuming, and it kind of felt like a waste of time. But in the last month, I finally decided, like, okay, I'm gonna go live for the first time and I'm going to post every day, and that kind of has helped a lot. Like, I've seen an huge amount of growth the last like few weeks that I've actually posted every single day, or at least tried to. So I am a small YouTube creator, but I've been on YouTube for a very, very long time. And the how I learned to draw like this was a lot of practice. A lot of practice. Um, in school, because I did homeschooling for a lot of my years. And in school, I had about 3 years of not art classes, but like they gave you a book that has the fundamentals like shadow and shape and bodies and all those kind of things. And that really, really helped me to draw better. And one of the things that I did that helped me get better in drawing was I, quite a while ago, but I haven't yet edited that video. I really want to edit it. Or have I? I do not remember. It was that long ago. I did a drawing every day challenge for a month. And that really, really, really made my art style come out, and it made drawing a lot better and like a lot easier for me because in the beginning of, I think, last year, drawing was more of a, how can I say, it's like not a struggle, but it felt like I was drawing manually, if you can get what I mean. Like it felt forced. And right now it is a bit more like, how can I say, it's comfortable. You know, I'm used to drawing every day. I'm used to being creative every day, and it has really helped with my art style, and it has really helped just to make everything look a bit more, well, like something and not just a blob of pencil and crayons or whatever I'm using at the moment. Oh, one thing that has also helped me, no, it's going to get to a side rant, I'm so sorry, but one thing for me that has helped me draw better is like taking paint or mixed media or pencils or charcoal, like anything that I can find, any art material, even like air dry clay or fabric. I've been playing around with fabric, if you can believe it. I'm sewing. Like I made a whole hoodie for myself. So playing around with different mediums also helped me be better and at drawing, and also drawing faster and rough sketches. So that's kind of how I got better at drawing, is just playing around and testing and trying and just enjoying drawing and drawing what I love, but adding a few variations, because variations is also good. Okay, I think this bug is mostly done. It has like a few dots here and there on its wings, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to show that really without it becoming a bit too, like, it's going to get a bit overcrowded, and it is already. When I do the pen, I might just do a bit less, but I think that's mostly everything. So this is the reference picture. Very beautiful, very gorgeous, and honestly absolutely adorable. Look at that little face. He looks so cute, but as you can see what I meant with the leg, it looks like one of the legs are gone. I don't think that's the case, but it really looks so. So I just added it willy-nilly, like there, and hopefully it looks right. But this is the finished drawing, and I'm just going to do a bit of planning for this page because I do want to go ahead and find information of this and see if I can write it beside the sticky notes, and like a bit of information of what type of bug it is, its name, where it like exists and stuff, if it is almost extinct and such things, because I do love a little bit of research now and then. I think this one I'm going to add at the bottom. I might add them in the what's the word? Okay, in Afrikaans it would be volgorde. I think it's just order in which I drew it. So this one would be first, then second, then third, and that purple one was last. Okay, this one, I think that would be far enough that I could write here. And then it is this one. And again, I'm just going to place it a bit under that one. So they go from this one, which was the first one, and my worst mistake was not planning at all. So the legs needed to be tucked in, which made it look a bit wonky, but I'm keeping it like that because keeping in mistakes makes it interesting when you come back later and see the mistakes or the happy accidents, like Bob Ross said. And this one was the second one, and again, I didn't plan that well. I did do a little bit of planning, so the body at least like fits in on the sticky note. But again, the legs needed to be tucked in. This one I planned out a lot more, but it still was a bit too high, so everything does fit in, and I didn't need to like bend the legs or anything too much, but they still are a bit too close to the edge than what I would like it to be. And then of course the last one, which finally actually fits in. This time I did my planning well enough that it does fit in. Planning is key. That's kind of why I'm doing this, so it doesn't look weird in the end. But that is, I think, one of the pages that's going to go into this sketchbook. And it is a new sketchbook, so there's not a lot of things like in it yet. I think I can actually show you guys one of the pages that I am actually really proud of. It is also bugs. This was drawn when we went away for not a vacation but a funeral, and I drew this at that place, and it is like in a desert basically, so it was so hot. And this is one of the bugs that I drew, and this little guy too, and this one here in top. So, sorry. Also bugs, but you can see the difference between this, which is technically a finished product or like a finished drawing, and the rough sketches that I did here. There is a huge difference, and in my opinion, this is a rough sketch and this is a finished drawing, but for me this looks better than this. So hopefully when I actually put in detail and pen and stuff, it looks better than that one, which is I think technically 3 months old by now. So I think I improved a bit. But that is all for this live, and I do hope to see you guys in tomorrow's live. I'm going live the same amount of time or at the same time. And thank you so much for watching, and remember to take care of yourself, to rest, drink some water or coffee if you're like me, and to eat and just enjoy your life. And I will see you guys in the next live. Goodbye.